Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Swag back here with another video. And as you guys can see, I'm going to be ranking everybody in my chat, all their teams. I mean, most of their teams. If I miss a few, I do apologize. But yeah, I'm going to be ranking. Let me know what you guys think of this series. It's going to be or not the series, but these episodes. It's going to be a longer episode. Not going to be a lot of editing to this video, but I'm just gonna come out here and kind of rank their teams, kind of point them hopefully in the right direction for their squads. And with the amount of MT that they have, some players that they might want to go and pick up, or what they should do with MT, and with what players they should be using in their lineup, what players are not good to use in their lineup. I will be taking a look at auctionable cards as well, because I think that is a big factor. Maybe some good tactical downgrades in this series as well. But starting off with the first one, Troy is God 22, and he looks like he's got a very solid team, and I will be ranking these squads out of 10. Kind of my personal preference. I'm hoping that I can rank them out of 10 and have a good ranking. I'm gonna have a harsh ranking because I do expect at this stage of March 1st, I do expect some of these squads to be, pretty solid. And, if you don't have a few of the, really, really good players, that makes me, think that you're not, spending your MT in the right places. So I will be, harsh on my rating, 1 through 10. A lot of these, 10 is going to be, top of the top. 9 is still going to be very, very top. And, you guys will see how I rank these. Let me know. Should I be a little bit more lenient or, more harsh on my rankings? Let me know that all in the comments down below. And, let me know how I did on my first video. If you guys want me to continue this, I will do this, maybe once a month. I think would be a good, thing to do. And then at the start of 2K26, I will continue doing this if you guys do like this. Okay, taking a look at Troy's squad. He's got Austin Reeves at the 1, Brandon Roy, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Victor. Okay, so I do like his team. I like his team a lot. I think Reeves is, fine. I think Brandon Roy is very, very solid. KD, I got a bit of an issue with. Only because, Kevin Durant, is he good? Yes. But is there better cards than this Kevin Durant? Yeah, I think so. If he was unsellable, I would understand it a little bit more. I mean, realistically, I would go out, and if I were Troy, I would go out. I'd go get a pink diamond LeBron James. A pink diamond LeBron James. I don't know how much he goes for, but he looks like he has, a good amount of MT. And then by selling this Kevin Durant, he's not great. This Kevin Durant's not great. He's a solid enough card, but he's not great. I mean, you go out and get a LeBron James for a little bit more defense because, your Austin Reeves isn't the best defender. Brandon Roy, they lack defense. And I think you need that, that defender in this lineup. So I'd go out, I'd probably sell this Kevin Durant and go pick up, somebody like, LeBron James for this starting lineup. Pink diamond, LeBron James would be fine for this lineup. Even throwing in that Ron Artest there, I think can, cause, bigger issues for your opponents on that defense end. So that is where I would start. Next, I would probably start at the shooting guard off the bench. Franz Wagner, very, very solid, but it's tough to run him. His defense is a liability. His form is, it's pretty good. He's got a very good form, but you look like you already have your offense running through your 3 guard off the bench, which Michael Beasley is fine. I've seen that happen a lot. So I think Michael Beasley is very, very solid there. I mean, you might want to go pick up a 2 guard. Go pick up a Dr. J if you can. Go put Ron Artest there. I mean, you're going to want that defense in that lineup, because your primary ball handler is going to be Michael Beasley, your primary shot creator, I should say. And then D-Wade, I don't like D-Wade. Some of y'all do. If you're good with D-Wade, I would recommend you keep him. But if you're not great with D-Wade, I mean, some good point guards that you can go pick up for, a decent price. I mean, I would recommend maybe even that Zach LaVine might be better, in my opinion. I would recommend maybe a Cade, maybe somebody like that. But yeah, definitely, maybe that point guard position needs to be upgraded. But I mean, hey, if you got, you look like you got a lot of offense going on off the bench right now. So, I mean, I like your squad. I would upgrade that Kevin Durant. I would downgrade to a LeBron James personally. That is a unnecessary, card to have in your lineup. Your bench, is fine. You're going to want to start probably upgrading that power forward position as well. Maybe go out and get, Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, he's a 96 overall. But he is a lot better than that Anthony Davis, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of, my, critiques with this squad. I think it's a solid enough squad. And here's where the harsh rankings is going to come in. I rate this squad because he does got Wemby, he does got Giannis, he does got, B-Roy and Beasley and stuff. And D-Rob's, solid enough. I'm going to rate this squad a 7.3. It's a very, very good squad, but it does need some work. In my opinion, and he might be better with these cards. See, that is the one thing. I don't know how good they are with these cards, but I will rank this card or this team. Actually, yeah, I'll rank it a 7.4. I'll rank it a 7.4. It's pretty solid, but it's not the best squad. Definitely have some, upgrades that can be made, some people that you can sell to improve this team. Next up, we got Solider. I believe it is Solider of God. Okay, looking at his squad, he's got some very, very good players on his team. He's level 40. He's got that Bob McAdoo. He's got that Hakeem Olajuwon, that Victor, that LeBron, Dr. J. I mean, this squad, I don't have a whole lot to critique with this squad because I do like this lineup. He's maximizing a lot of his MT. He's got the Kobe White and the Larry Markkinen, who I think are very, very solid. I mean, the one thing that I'm critiquing about this lineup is probably that point guard starting position, as I think this is, a very, very good squad. But that point guard position, I mean, you might even want to throw Reeves in that point guard position, give you a little bit more offense. D-Wade does bring some offense, beta jump shot, though it's not great. So yeah, I mean, if you don't want to spend any of your MT, there's no reason to. I think you're doing a good job. You look like you have some cards. I would go through your lineup, make sure, a lot of your cards are sold, stack that MT up for, Tuesday's drop. But yeah, I like this team a lot. I think maybe, Austin Reeves and Dwayne Wade can get switched out, but I like your bench a lot. I think this is a very, very solid team, and I don't think there's a lot to critique with this team. I like the lineup a lot. I like the way that he has it set up. I think this is a great lineup. I'm going to rank this, and this is, in my opinion, a lot better than the first squad. I'm going to rank this a 8.3. I'm going to rank this 8.2. I'm not going to get too carried away on my ratings. 8.2, because I mean, I do think there's better guards. Obviously, go get a Gary Payton, Kobe White, Larry Markkinen is all right. I'm not sure how good, they are together, but I do think there is, some better guards. You can go pick up a Beasley for, the price of a Larry Markkinen, who is going to be better at that position. There's a few upgrades that you can make, but I do like your squad a lot. Very, very solid squad here. Soldier, you're doing a good job, or Solider, excuse me. You're doing a very good job. I do like this squad a lot. There's a few upgrades that you can make. I think Scottie Pippen could be, over that Larry Markkinen, in my opinion. I don't know why actually Scottie Pippen's not there. But yeah, that's kind of my critique here. I guess you're bringing in a little bit more height because of Bob McAdoo being pretty short. But yeah, that's my critique there. I would definitely put in that Scottie Pippen. Maybe change out your Austin Reeves, and then maybe go and save up for a Gary Payton. And I think this lineup is very, very solid. But yeah, 8.2 is what I will be rating this squad. Next up, we got the GOAT is, and I can't see his MT count, which does make it a little bit more difficult. But this is a squad that is very, very poorly set up. In my opinion, very, very poorly set up. And this is, and this is not just on him. A lot of people are, making their lineups like this. But in my opinion, I mean, we gotta revamp this squad. I mean, they're all unsellable. He did pull Chet Holmgren from a deluxe, which really helps his team out a lot. But, taking a look, you can't have Dwayne Wade and Austin Reeves in that starting lineup. That is just, I mean, step number one, that is, not good. That right off the bat, that is not good. But I can't see your MT or your players. So all I can really do is just tell you that you can't have, Austin Reeves move to the one, maybe. I think you're, Paulo's fine there. You need to go pick up a two guard, probably run Dwayne Wade off your bench, sell that Damian Lillard. I'm not sure why Damian Lillard is in your lineup. Damian Lillard is absolutely horrible. And I don't mean to be harsh, but, you can't have 2 point guards in that starting lineup. It just does not work like that. It will be very tough to win games. So I would, recommend you moving D Wade to your bench, start Austin Reeves, go pick up a 2 guard, and then you got to go pick up, you really got to go pick up 2 guards. And, but I can't see your MT count. So I'm just going to give a rating on this squad. Make sure you guys are showing your MT count and stuff like that. If you guys have, some text also that you want to put with this, just looking for positions to upgrade. I mean, I think you can move with this team, but it's tough running those 2 point guards. I'm gonna rate this team. This is going to be the lowest rated. I'm gonna rate this a 6, and that's probably the lowest I will go on this. but I'm going to rate this squad as 6. I mean, he needs major work, and it needs major, revamping. I just think, Damian Lillard, not great. I think Austin Reeves can be moved to the point guard. You can play D-Wade off the bench, but now you need to go get 2 guards, and 2 guards looks like a main thing on your squad. And then, now you got Dirk and Pascal. You need a true center there. Go pick up a Hakeem Olajuwon, who is better than both of those cards for your bench at least. And I mean, yeah, there's a step in the right direction, but that is definitely a necessary one. I'm gonna rate this squad as 6, and moving on to the next one. Next up, we got Devin or Broski. I mean, hey, let me just give a huge shout out to Devin, because when he first started my team, and I don't know when he started, but when he first started, coming into my chat, his squad was not great at all. He really did not have a great squad. And I think he's made some very solid improvements. I think he's done a good job paying attention to how to build his squads and stuff. So I do think he has done a great job, a big improvement. So shout out Devin in the comment section down below. He will probably be first on this video, but at the point guard, Austin Reeves, Julius Erving, Rudy Gay, and then Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. Love his starting lineup. I do really like his starting lineup. He only has 57K, so I think he is using his MT. Once he can go out and get, B-Roy, maybe he sells that Dr. J and then upgrades that 3 position. So, taking a look, I like the starting lineup. It's built perfectly. It's built fine. Now taking a look at the bench, where I see the biggest struggle is, and you've been doing this for a little bit, is your big guys are too small on the bench. I mean, you got a very nice duo in Hakeem and David Robinson, but off the bench, Elton Brand and Anthony Davis aren't going to cut it against, Wemby's and stuff. So, you really need to try to go out and get some bigger players, some bigger centers. And I know you don't have the MT, but that's where you really need to start, because Xavier can lock up on defense. I think he is fine there. I think Zach LaVine's fine where he is. And maybe even running Ben Wallace over Elton Brand probably would be the move there. I think Ben Wallace is better defensively, and I think he runs the floor a lot better than Elton Brand. I haven't used that card yet, but just kind of going off what I've seen, that would be probably my first switch right there. And then, yeah, Anthony Davis, he's got to go. Beta jump shot doesn't really do a whole lot for you. Save up, go pick up a Chris Tabbs, go pick up, maybe a Wemby, when you get the coin, and there's probably some better centers. Like, I would rather have, in my opinion, and this might sound bad, but I would run off this bench Anthony Davis and Jack Sikma, or Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr off that bench, making it a bigger lineup for you, and you're going to get a lot more rebounds. Still people that can space the floor, maybe not the greatest forms in a game, but you want to run those types of lineups. I am going to rate this squad. I'm going to rate this squad a 7.5. This is not the worst squad I've seen. I like where he is moving. I think he's moving in the right direction. And yeah, I'm going to rate this a 7.5. I think this is a very good squad. And yeah, shout out Devin. He's majorly improved at the start of the year. He wasn't great, with building his lineups, but I think he has done a very good job grinding the right modes and all of that stuff. Level 18, as you guys can see already. So yeah, W Devin, like the squad, 7.5. Next up, we got the troll himself. I'm who, or Zadie Bird. I mean, taking a look at his lineup, Zadie knows what he's doing. He's good at the game. I like his lineup a lot. I do. I don't like the Rudy Gobert. I can't stand the Rudy Gobert. But, I mean, there's not a whole lot to critique here. I mean, Zadie knows how to build his lineups. He's got Gary Payton at the 1, probably, one of the best, 2 guards or 1 guard in the game. Dr. J at the 2, very solid. Michael Beasley at the 3, very solid. Rudy Gobert, I mean, he uses them for an inside, so he's going to get a lot of rebounds. He's going to play some good basketball, and then he's got Wemby. So I honestly don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And then off the bench, he is using the duo in Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen. And as you guys can see, you guys can start to see a trend with that, where a lot of people are using, those 2 cards off their benches and stuff, because they're solid enough. They both got good releases. They both got very good stats, and they both got very good badges. So I think they're very solid. And then running that, comboing that with a B-Roy, he grinded for Bob McAdoo, is very solid. And then that Vlade Divac is very good as well. I like this team a lot. The only thing I would say is probably that power forward position, but if you're good with him, Zadie, I mean, you can leave, that Rudy Gobert there, because he's going to play a lot of defense, going to get a lot of rebounds, and you already got Wemby to run the screen pops with. So, and Zadie said he can shoot the 3 ball a little bit, so I don't know. I haven't used that Rudy Gobert, but hey, if he's rocking with this lineup, I don't hate this lineup at all. I'm going to rate this pretty high. I'm actually going to rate this pretty high. I'm going to rate this a 8.6. I'm actually going to rate this higher. I'm going to rate this an 8.8. I'm going to rate this an 8.8. I think this is a very good team. I mean, Vlade Divac, Rudy Gobert, kind of lower in the list. And, you know, I just think, you know, you probably can get some better players, but with your MT, I mean, right now you can't. So, I mean, you know, all in all, a very good team. 8.8 is my rating. Shout out Zadie in the chat. Next up, we got Charmander here. Okay, he's got Austin Reeves at the 1, Dr. J, LeBron, Giannis, and KP. Really like that lineup a lot. He's got 150,000. Yeah, this is a very good squad. I like the way he's built this squad. He's got Cade off the bench with Brandon Roy, Rudy Gay, and Jaren Jackson and David Robinson. I think this squad is built perfectly for the MT that he has. I mean, there's not really too much I can say other than, you know, now it's time to get some upgraded players, in my opinion. So, you know, maybe you can close in on getting a Wemby instead of KP, but I really have nothing to really complain about this lineup. I mean, another upgrade that I would make, maybe go get Hakeem over that Jaren Jackson. I think Hakeem's just better in my opinion. I think Jaren Jackson's fine though. I do. You know, I like this team a lot. I gotta rate this team pretty high as well. This is probably going to be pretty similar to the last squad that I just rated. I might give it a point higher because I do like his lineup. I'm not a big fan of, you know, Lauri Markkanen and Kobe White. I mean, they're very good, don't get me wrong. But, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Actually, I'm going to rate this the same. I mean, I really think Cade and Rudy are going to do the same thing as Lauri and Kobe. And I think the way his lineup is built is very solid. He doesn't have Gary Payton, though. So actually, that does lower it a little bit. Okay. Final rating, I'm going to rate this at 8.7. Think you got a really good squad. I'd go pick up Hakeem, pick Diamond, and run him at your backup power forward. But if you like Jaren Jackson, keep Jaren Jackson, and you'll be fine there. You probably can make a little, and it's a little tactical downgrade in my opinion. But very good squad. Really like this squad from Charmander here. And yeah, that would be what I would be going with if I wanted to upgrade this squad. But this is a very solid squad. Next up, we got Step Up. And Step Up, he's got Austin Reeves, Brandon Roy, Giannis, Anthony Davis, David Robinson. And then off the bench, he's got Oscar, Dr. J, not Bernard King, Jason Richardson, Kareem, and Sabonis. And you might see, like, you know, really good cards, but the way that he has these cards in his lineup, I don't love at all. You know, I don't like J Rich at the 3. I don't think his defense is great. So that would be a, you know, position that I would upgrade in my opinion. He's only got 14,000, so he can't really upgrade. But you want to go pick up, you know, somebody that can lock down in my opinion, you know. So maybe go pick up a LeBron, maybe go pick up, you already got Giannis, maybe go pick up a Beasley. Yeah, he's not a lockdown, but Beasley's going to be, you know, a very good player. Or, you know, really, you could probably run Bernard King there, who would have some better defense, probably. I don't know. J Rich just leaves a lot on that defense end out there, and it's just tough. I mean, he's not a great defensive player. So I do think J Rich is tough to run there. Do like the Oscar. I think Oscar's very underrated. I think Oscar is a good point guard. I don't like Sabonis. I don't like Sabonis at all there, and I don't like Anthony Davis. I think, you know, definitely some players that you do need to upgrade. I like Kareem. I like David Robinson. Those guys are fine. But, you know, those center position, the center position and the power forward position do need a little bit of upgrading. And I haven't used that Sabonis card, but I have played against him. He's got a very baited jump shot. He's not great. He's a little bit slow, you know, so you're going to want to upgrade that position. I'm going to rate this squad because of the way he has his lineup. Yes, it looks like a great team, but I'm going to rate this like an 8.1, 8.0. I'm going to rate it an 8. On the dot, just because I don't like Sabonis, I don't like J Rich at the 3, and I don't like Anthony Davis. So I do think, you know, that is some stuff that you do need to, you know, start focusing in on. It does look like you're using a lot of your MT, but Anthony Davis, you know, is sellable. So, you know, I would sell Anthony Davis, go pick up a Hakeem to go there, go, you know, move Kareem there, move Hakeem off the bench, and then use the MT to upgrade your center position, move Bernard King to your small forward. I just think might be a little bit better, or go pick up LeBron James. But yeah, I can't get down with, you know, the Anthony Davis, Sabonis, and then J Rich at the 3. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't settle with me right, just because J Rich is not a great defender in my opinion, but it is a good squad. You can get the job done with the squad. There's no doubt. And there's no doubt in my mind that you don't get the job done with the squad. I just think there is some room to upgrade. So I'm gonna rate this an 8.0. Still grinding Dom for MT, 33 out of 99 stars. Okay, so you guys can do little comments like that, just letting me know what you guys are grinding. And I see a huge issue with this team already. Early on, I see a huge issue with this team. I see that he's got Penny Hardaway at the 2, and he has a Ron Artest on his bench. So I do think he's going for that B-Roy, obviously. So that is going to be a great upgrade. So, but yeah, you definitely need to throw in that Ron Artest in that starting lineup. You're going to just need a 2 guard there. Penny Hardaway can't really bring you a lot of offense, in my opinion. He's got a little bit of a baited jump shot, so it's tough to run a card like that. I do like the Hakeem off the bench. Paul Pierce, I don't like at all. So that Paul Pierce is very, very tough. And then, as your guys' reserves, and I do feel bad for being harsh, don't take any of this to heart, just trying to help you out a little bit. But if you guys are rocking with your squads, like, don't take any of this to heart. But you guys wanted me to do this video, so just kind of giving some constructive criticism here. At that center position, Bill Walton, probably not a great option there. I'd probably go out and get somebody like an Alex R, somebody that can stretch the floor. Bill Walton, he's not bad. I mean, he's just not a card that I would want to run there, in my opinion. There's definitely some better options. I think Hakeem and Jokic are fine. They're both unsellable. I think those guys are fine. I think Kristaps is a good pickup. Zion will definitely need an upgrade at some stage. But, just for starters, move that Ron Artest to the starting lineup. I think you'll see a big difference. And, you can even move Penny to your backup point guard position. And, you might see a little bit of a difference there as well. So that's where I would start out. I'm going to rate this squad a 7. It's in the 7s for sure. But I don't like Ant. I don't like Penny at the 2. I don't like Zion. I don't like Paul Pierce. I don't like Bill Walton. So there is a lot of things here that do need to be upgraded. I'm going to rate this a 7. It's going to be low 7s. It's going to be about a 7.3. A 7.3, because I do think, you do got some decent cards. Actually, I can't even rate it that high. I'm actually going to go a 6.9, I think. 6.9, just because you definitely have some cards on your team that are just not great. They're not great cards, and yeah, you don't have a lot of MT, so I understand it and I understand the struggle. But go watch my No Money Spent. I mean, there's cards that you could be picking up, that can run for your guys' squads, and that can bring a lot to the table, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I'm going to rate this squad. It's not a bad squad at all, but it does need some improvement. The way it is, it is ran right now, it just can't be done. Anthony Edwards only 6'4". You can't run 2 6'4" guards, off your bench with a Paul Pierce. It just doesn't work very, very good. So in my opinion, move Penny to your backup point guard, move Ron Artest to your starting 2 guard, and work from there with the suggestions that I did give. Next up, we got Rari, and this looks like the best team I've seen. It really, really does. I will say, right off rip, Larry Marketing is not better than LeBron James. Right off rip is what I'm saying. And then off the bench, you can't have LaMelo and Harden. If LaMelo's sellable, sell that LaMelo. Go out and get yourself a Dr. J. You already have the MT. You have a lot of MT. I do like your lineup, though. I mean, your starting lineup's pretty much perfect. You can move Shea down to your backup and go get a Gary Payton. That would be the play. Move Shea to your backup point guard, go get a Gary Payton, sell your LaMelo Ball, and then move LeBron to your small forward position and go get a Dr. J. I mean, I think those are 2 big pickups that you can make. You can run Harden off the bench at your point guard position. I think the way you have this team set up is not great, because you definitely don't need LaMelo and Shea and then Harden. You don't need 3 point guards right there. And then definitely LeBron James is better than Larry Marketing. So that is the upgrade I would make. This is a very good squad, though. With your MT and stuff, you can definitely make this squad a lot better. So going to be a little harsh on this rating, but I am going to rate this a 8. I don't want to tie, but I'm going to rate this a 8.9. I'm going to rate it an 8.9. It's very good. I mean, he's got Porzingis and Wemby, to be honest. And Shea and Brandon Wright. I mean, he's got a very good team. I'm going to rate it 8.9, not a 9, because of the way you have, the 2 guards off the bench. I don't love it. I know LaMelo is 6'7", but, I just don't like the way that you have, in LeBron James and Larry Marketing. I mean, if you play good with this squad, so be it. But, there is a better squad that you can make with the MT and the players that you already have. So that is my suggestions for this squad. 8.9 is my rating. Next up, we got Indy here, and he's got Austin Reeves, Brandon Roy, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Victor Wembanyama. Okay, and then off the bench, he has Dwayne Wade, Balku Labali, Paolo Banchero, Jaren Jackson, and David Roberts. Taking a look at this team, I mean, there's definitely some upgrades that can be made. You got some VC, you know, maybe next pack drop you're up a few packs. I do not mind the team though. I think he definitely has a good handle on the game just because of the way he's got the lineup. You know, he's got Reeves, B-Roy, and then he's got a defensive player in LeBron and AD, and then he's got Victor Wembanyama who can stretch the floor. And then off the bench, you know, you really do need that 2 guard that can go out and get you a bucket. So off the bench, you know, once you can get the MT, you know, go out and get somebody like a Dr. J probably. I know Ball Coulibaly's solid, but, you know, you're going to want somebody to be a primary off the bench, you know. So whether you sell, you know, whether you sell your Ball Coulibaly and go get a Dr. J if you can get enough MT, or whether you sell, you know, somebody like, well, you can't sell Ben Caro, but, you know, whether you go get somebody like a Michael Beasley, you need that guy that can run the offense off the bench, in my opinion. Not a bad squad at all. You definitely got a great handle on things. I'm going to rate this squad a 7.1 because just the way he has the lineup built. I mean, I think he has a good handle on things. Doesn't got a lot of MT. I think he's maximized his MT. He's maximized, you know, the players that he has in. Jaren Jackson's fine. Paulo Banchero's fine. You know, D Wade, David Robinson, they're all fine, but you do need that primary off the bench. And that is a higher rating than some of the teams that have better players, but it's just the way that he has it built. I think, and you know, he's only sitting on 2,900 MT. I think, you know, that is my rating for the squad. Very, very solid squad, but definitely does need, you know, a primary off the bench. Next up, we got Matty Ice. Shout out Matty Ice here. Taking a look at his lineup, he's got Magic at the 1, Julius at the 2, LeBron, Giannis, Victor. I love his starting lineup. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 starting lineup. Really, really like it. And then he's got D Wade off the bench with Paul George, Pippen, Kareem, and Hakeem Olajuwon. And so, you know, my critique doesn't come from the starting lineup. It comes from the bench. And it just, you know, who's going to go be your primary off the bench? And, you know, Paul George, yes, can score the ball. Scottie Pippen, yes, can score the ball. D Wade can score the ball. But I just think maybe throw Reeves in there. Maybe Reeves can be your primary off the bench, you know, or, you know, you can save up for a Gary Payton. But you really need that primary off that bench. In that bench lineup, because I just don't think that you have one in the bench lineup, and it does make it tough when you put that bench in. I'm sure you probably notice a little bit, maybe because you play, you know, you have such good defenders, you don't notice it as much. But yeah, you definitely do need that primary. So it's something I would look to invest in, maybe sell a Paul George and pick up you know, a good 2 guard, or, you know, maybe even, you know, just move Austin Reeves. I think that might be the wave as well. I do think Paul George is very solid, and I'm not really critiquing Paul George, but, you know, you do need that primary off the bench. You know, you can move Scotty to the 2 probably and go get a Michael Beasley. And you guys are going to hear me, you know, say a lot of these cards over and over and over again, but it's because, you know, you really need some of these cards to run your offense. I mean, there's these cards that run your, you know, that are the shot creators for a reason. Dr. J is one of them. Michael Beasley is one of them. Gary Payton's one of them. Like, cards like that are cards that can run your offense, and that's what he does not have on the bench. Very solid squad, though. I'm going to rate this probably the highest squad today, because I think if he gets rid of Paul George, moves Scottie Pippen to the 2 position, and then goes and picks up you know, a primary like Beasley. Not the highest day, actually. Nope, I'm not gonna rate the highest day. It's gonna be an 8.9. Nothing has touched 9 yet, and I want to be strict with my rating. It's a good squad, but, you know, off the bench, I do think you need a primary, and there is a lack there, so I'm not gonna rate it. I'm going to rate it an 8.9. I think it's very, very solid, but does need a little improvement off that bench, in my opinion, to be, you know, in the 9s. And yes, I'm being pretty crucial. My team's not a 10 out of 10. My team's not a 9.5 out of 10. So, you know, there is, you know, improvement on this squad, though, in my opinion. Next up, we got Fusion. Taking a look at this team, Magic Johnson at the 1, Paul George, Rudy Gay, Jaren Jackson, Victor Wembanyama, and then he's got D Wade. He's not running the other D Wade, which makes me think that he doesn't have the other D Wade. And then he's got Scottie Pippen, LeBron James, Bob McAdoo, and Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, very interesting squad here. You know, you're going to hear me say the primary. I don't see you having a primary in either lineup here. Primary scorer, you have 54,000 MT. You know, definitely I would grind domination, and then I would definitely, you know, hit level 40 and go get that Brandon Roy, because that Brandon Roy is going to help this team out a lot for scoring purposes. I do like your big guys. All 4 of your big guys are very, very solid. I think your 3 guards are very, very solid. It really comes down to those 2 guards. And, you know, all these players are really non-auctionable. So, you know, I can't fault him for this. This is the team that he's came up with. If people didn't take advantage of the event, then they didn't. So, but yeah, definitely would start with your 2 guards and maybe a point guard, maybe a better point guard other than D Wade. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid enough squad. I mean, Scottie Pippen and Paul George are fine, but you do need a primary. I'd go pick up Dr. J and then wait for D Roy, and then, you know, your team definitely turns around. But the rating of this squad, I like the way he's got the lineup built. He's got a Wemby, he's got a LeBron, he's got, you know, a Magic Johnson, Porzingis. I'm gonna rate this squad personally. I'm gonna rate it a It's getting tough because I don't know what I've rated other squads, but I, you know, just by going off the way that he has it built and everything, I'm going to rate this a 7. I'm going to rate this a 7.2. I do like this squad a lot. I do think it, you know, it can be improved when it gets Brandon Roy and then saves up for Dr. J or somebody like that. So I do think there's room for improvement. I do think he has some good players. So that is going to be my rating. W Squad Fusion, keep grinding, bro. Next up, we got Messi fan here. He's got D Wade, Mark Price, and okay, wow. Wow, this team is, wow, this team's not great. I don't know if some people sent me troll lineups, but this team, yeah, this team's very bad. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt with you. This team's very bad. Where do I start here? Where do I start? I mean, your best lineup to be running in that starting lineup, probably D Wade you could run at the 1. Probably going to have to run a Jaylen Brown and a Glenn Rice at your 2 and your 3. And then Xavier can probably play there, and Clint. And then off the bench, I mean, you got some work to do. This squad is, I mean, almost disqualified. No, but this is going to be some where you're going to have to get into and do some grinding. You're in the Amethyst tier, and this is the squad that has been built. I don't know if this is a troll lineup. Not a great squad here. I'm going to rate this, you know, I just said the lowest is going to be a 6. So this is in that lowest category. It's lower than a 6, but 6 is going to be the rating here because that's the lowest I will be doing. Definitely need some improvement. Definitely need to grind the right modes and everything. And tomorrow, go get that Boogie Cousins if you can, because, you know, he's going to even help your team out, and he's not great, but you know, Clint Capella is probably not getting the job done along with Brad Daugherty. So yeah, that is my rating for the squad. Not great. And I don't mean to be harsh on anybody's squad because, you know, I understand people don't spend money on the game, but if you look at my no money spent account, I didn't spend money on the game and I have a better squad than this. So that makes me think that you're just not grinding the right stuff. So if you need any advice, come into my stream. And, you know, I definitely can help out with that for sure. Next up, we got Ace here. Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, Michael Beasley, Giannis Porzingis, very good starting lineup. Then off the bench, yeah, this is the team that is complete. There's not a whole lot I have to say about a team like this. You know, one of the things, you got a lot of coins. You know, maybe go pick up a Gary Payton. Maybe you know, maybe no, there's not even another upgrade. I'd go pick up Gary Payton, and I think you have a very complete team. This is an 8.8. I think it's very complete. There's not a lot to say. I mean, the team's built perfect. I would probably, you know, if you want to save up for, you know, better point guards, these point guards are fine to run. But yeah, if you want to go pick up somebody like Gary Payton, he would definitely help your team out a lot. You know, over Penny Hardaway, but I do like this team a lot. 8.8 is the rating. Very, very solid squad. All right, we got Groza up next. He's got Reeves, Brandon Roy, Giannis, LeBron, and Zion at the center. Okay, so he's got 10,000 MT. Okay, so Zion at the center cannot work. Zion at the center never works. He doesn't really work at the power forward. So upgrading that center position probably would move Giannis to the 4. He is taller. And then, you know, you got to start David Robinson. So you know, you can have Reeves, Brandon Roy, LeBron, Giannis, and David Robinson in that starting lineup. And then off the bench, now taking a look, you know, Castle's fine. I think Castle's fine. I don't see any of these players being sellable. It is tough quality, but you know, you can go D Wade. It's tough because you really need that 2 guard off the bench. You don't have a 2 guard off the bench right now. Anthony Edwards, you know, he'll have to get it done, right? So probably go D Wade, Anthony Edwards. I would probably go. Then I would go Xavier, power forward position, Zion, and then Dirk at the center. This squad is not great though because that bench does, you know, bring it down big time. Your starting lineup will be fine if you move D-Rob in there, and I got you, bro. I will make sure to rate it. Yeah, that's gonna be what I rate. I rate this team as 6. It just needs major help. The starting lineup's fine, but the bench is absolutely abysmal. I mean, it's horrible. So yeah, you need to work on that bench. do a few of those adjustments that I just made. You might want to rewind it back. Do a few of those adjustments. You can still get the job done with this squad, but definitely is time to start upgrading. Next up, we got ADS here, and he's got Gary Payton, Brandon Roy, Xavier, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, and then off the bench, he's got Magic, Drazen, Julius, Alex Sarr, and Dirk. Okay, taking a look at the team here. Definitely need a upgraded 3-guard. You sitting on 140,000. Don't know if any of those players are sellable. No. Don't know if you have any sellable players in your lineup, because it's tough. I mean, you can really get rid of somebody probably like a Drazen and just move Dr. J there because both of them in the lineup is weird. But yeah, you really, the weak spot that is just, you know, right in front of me is that small forward position. You know, you need to save up for LeBron James if you can, or save up for any type of lockdown in the game. There's some like, you know, diamonds that, you know, could make this team better. In my opinion, you need to go get a center. Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert aren't great. I'm gonna rate this squad a 6.8. It's not great. There is some room to improve. You have some very, very good cards. You know, Gary Payton, Brandon Roy, Magic, very, very good. Dr. J, very good. Drazen, very good. But you really need to, you know, start looking to upgrade some of these cards because of the way you have the lineup. It just doesn't work out. You know, having AD and Rudy Gobert, people can paint sit on you, and your shots are just so baited. Where the defense, it's just tough to get your offense in your starting lineup other than Gary Payton and Brandon Roy. It really, really is. Even Xavier's shots are a little bit baited. So yeah, definitely want to start there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to rate the squad. I mean, it's not a bad squad, but definitely does need some improvement. I do see, you know, you're making some improvement, but you have 140,000. I would go pick up an Akeem Olajuwon immediately before his price spikes, and then sit on the auction and hope to get, you know, some better centers in the game. But not a bad squad. Definitely some improvements though. Next up, we got Grimace Shake here. He's got Magic at the 1, Dr. J, Giannis, Embiid, Victor, and then off the bench, he's got D Wade, Brandon Roy, LeBron, Jaren Jackson, and David Robinson. You know, just taking a look at it, I probably think that Donovan Mitchell is better than D Wade. But there's no reason to move if, you know, if this is your comfortable lineup. Really like this team. Not a whole lot to say about it. He's got 174,000. Not a whole lot of upgrades that he could make. Maybe Bob is better than Jaren. I see a lot more people running Bob. I personally like Bob better, but that is, you know, personal preference at that stage. And then, you know, maybe maybe upgrading that point guard position, but other than that, like this team, very, very solid team. I'm gonna rate it 8.8, and you're right up there in the, the club of the 8.8, 8.9. Next up, we got OGs here, and does he? No, this is nothing. This is a group chat. Taking a look. This was yesterday. So these are, you know, I'm just kind of rating the squads today. Then I know we do got one more, and we got some squads on Twitter as well that we gotta rate. So next up here, we got Cadapt here, or I'm not sure if it's capped up next, and we got Gary Payton, Julius, Paulo, Hakeem, Victor. Love your starting lineup. Off the bench, love your starting lineup. And this is another team that's, you guys can start seeing where, like, where does he really upgrade? I mean, yeah, he needs to get higher tier cards, but I think he's using his MT well. I mean, he's level 40. He got that B Roy. He got that Gary Payton. It looks like he spent a lot of coin on, which is worth it. And don't really see a lot of room for upgrades. You know, I'm going to rate this an 8.7. I'm going to rate 8.8. It's up there with, you know, these good squads that I've been seeing. You guys might be getting a lot of 8.8s, and just because, you know, once I see a good point guard, you know, a good 2-guard, and then you got a lockdown, you know, small forward, and then you got 2 big, you know, power forward centers, there's nothing I can really even say about these squads, you know, as far as upgrades go. You know, other than, yeah, now you got to get the obvious, you know, you got to go get Opal LeBron, maybe go get Giannis and sell Ben Caro if you can get enough MT. Like, there's just certain things like that, but, you know, with the players that you have, I think you've maximized, you know, your usage there, and that's why I'm doing a lot of those same ratings. Now, taking a look at the Twitter squads that you guys sent, and you guys can send this on Twitter or you can send it on PlayStation. First up, we got Christian here taking a look. This is his main squad here, and he's got Magic at the 1, Dr. J, Giannis, Jaren, Victor Wembanyama, good starting lineup. Then off the bench, he does got a good team. I would say a big flaw in his lineup is this Anthony Davis and Jokic. I don't like them both together particularly. I think they're fine, but I do think that there needs to be an upgrade. Like all 6 of these players right here. Is point guard Magic, Dr. J, Giannis, love, and then Reeves, Brandon Roy, Michael Beasley, love as well. I don't really think there is any need for Brandon Roy and Reeves and Magic to switch. Could if you wanted to, but no real need for that. But yeah, I would just focus on upgrading the center position here. Maybe sell your Jokic. I mean, yeah, it's a dark matter. But maybe sell your Jokic and go get a Porzingis, who is probably better than the 96 Porzingis, probably better than that Jokic, in my opinion. So that's kind of where the upgrade needs to come from. I'm gonna rate this an 8.5, just because these big guys are, it's not great. These are not a good duo to run. So that would be the next upgrade, in my opinion, where I would upgrade next. But yeah, that is what I'm gonna rate the squad. Not a bad lineup here. Next up for the Twitter squads, we got Trey here. Taking a look at Trey's team. And I just want to make sure, I just want to make sure that they're not saying anything here. 206,000, excuse me. He's got Austin Reeves, Julius, Larry Marketing. So you don't get the duo boost here. They have to be in the lineup at the same time. So it almost feels like a wasted duo here. So I'm not sure. Maybe start with selling this duo, and you might be like, okay, where are we going with this? Because I see some players here that you could throw in that lineup. So maybe start with selling that duo, and then you can run a small ball lineup. It would be very small ball. You can run a Paul George and LeBron there, because I don't love Dwight Howard there, but it's fine. But yeah, I would say your big focus. If you're gonna keep these guys is, you got to move LeBron. You're a little too small here. Maybe move Dr. J, or maybe move David Robinson to the center position. LeBron's got to be a 3. It's tough to play him at the 4. None of these. I mean, LeBron is sellable, so you could go get some coin for Bron. You got 206,000. I would say move LeBron to the starting lineup. Let's start there. I'd move LeBron to the starting lineup. Power forward, go get Hakeem Olajuwon. So your new starting lineup would look like Reeves, Julius, LeBron, Hakeem, Wemby. Okay, you start there. And then now you can utilize this duo. So now you got Kobe White, Jay Rich, Larry Marketing. You don't have LeBron here anymore, but you do have D-Rob here. So now you get another power forward. Or, yeah, you don't want to run D-Rob and him at the same time as well. I mean, you're going to want to go get another power forward. I don't really know. You can take a look at the auction and see, who you could get at a power forward. But that's where I would start, because you do want to utilize this. If you're going to run this duo right here, you want to make sure they're in the lineup at the same time. They can't be one on the bench, one in the starters. It will not work like that. So that's my suggestions there. Rating this squad. Needs some improvement on the bench. I'm going to rate this an 8.1. Definitely needs some improvement on the bench, and you need to utilize this duo if you want to make that work. Next up, we got Windy City here taking a look, and he's got the best team in the game. No, not the best team, but he's got a very good squad. He's got MJ at the 1, Dr. J, LeBron, Porzingis, and Wembanyama. And then it does look like he is utilizing this. Go pick up a center, probably go pick up a center, in my opinion. But you already got a Porzingis, so I'm trying to think of another good center to run here. Because, I mean, yeah, he's 7 foot. I mean, this lineup's fine. Probably the next upgrade needs to be a center, though, because it is a little bit small. Tatum's fine there. I rate this team. This team's a 9.3 because, he's got 200 overall. He's got Wemby, he's got LeBron, he's got Dr. J. I'm going to rate this team a 9.3. It's very, very good. Does need some improvement on the bench. Very good squad. You got a million MT. Go upgrade that bench a little bit. Upgrade. Maybe even, Tatum don't sell, though. That's still a hard thing. Tatum does not sell. Because I would say Even go get a Hakeem at the center. Hakeem can play center. I just think, you know, Jaren, it's tough to play him at that center position. He's more of a power forward in my eyes. But yeah, that's kind of the upgrade I would make with that squad. Not a bad squad though, 9.3. He got 200 overalls and a bunch of 99. So looks very, very solid. He's got Wemby. He's got a million coin. Doing a good job. Keep spending money on the game because that's what it looks like you're doing, just like I am. Taking a look at this game, this team, he's got 0 empty. He's got Austin Reeves, Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver there. Does look like he picked up Glenn Rice, but did not pick up Jay Rich, unfortunately. Okay, team needs a lot of improvement here. Definitely want to start with your backup center position. And I'll tell you, like I've told a lot of people, go get Hakeem at your backup center position. Definitely need to start there because that is very, very weak. And then next, I would probably start with a starting 2-guard. That Kyle Korver leaves a lot to be desired on that defensive end, so I would start there next. Yeah, this team's not great. Does need a lot of improvement. I mean, you have some very solid players. Looks like everybody is kind of unsellable, so I understand, you know, you're struggling with MT. I don't know how you have 0, but yeah, I would, maybe he's got a bid on a card, and I don't know if he said it. Oh, I have 113, so any suggestions would be helpful. So you got 113. Go pick up Akeem Olajuwon, and, you know, probably check out my no money spent, look at some budget cards that I'm running, and probably pick up somebody else for the squad. But definitely need a better 2-guard. Franz probably would start, in my opinion, over that Kyle Korver. And then, yeah, you need a backup 2-guard. But not a bad team by any means, but not a great team. You know, you have some decent players. You have some players that can get the job done. But yeah, I would start with going to pick up Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm going to rate this team. I don't know if I just rated it, but I'm going to rate it again because I'm going to rate this team a 6.9. It's in that category as well. You know, need a better 2-guard, need a better center, you know, need a better power forward probably, you know, in both positions because I don't think AD is great. But that's where I would start with this squad. And the last squad of the video, and I mean, he typed in his lineup. So there's, I mean, as far as suggestions, I don't see his MT count. And that's what makes it tough. But here is what he's saying. His lineup is Baron Davis, Dr. J, Jason Tatum, Jaren Jackson, David Robinson. I think these 4 are fine. I think they're fine, but I don't think they're great. I don't particularly like Tatum. He doesn't got a good leaner. Baron Davis, I mean, he's fine. And then off the bench, yeah, the bench needs a lot of work. This is another like 6.0 squad. I mean, it's you got some cards, but Lillard throws me off. Baron Davis kind of throws me off a little bit as well. Kwame Brown and Chet. I mean, Chet's so outdated at this stage. Probably Coleman's better than Chet, honestly, and probably a lot more undersized. Not a great squad. It's going to be in that 6 category as well. Can't see your MT count, so can't really see. I don't open packs. I need a point guard. I mean, a point guard for how much MT? I don't know. I mean, go get a Stephon Castle. Excuse me, very, very solid. Maybe a Zach LaVine. You know, you need some point guard that can play, you know, kind of primary, and I do apologize that it is cutting off. But yeah, you need some upgrades. You definitely need a point guard better than Lillard, and then you bring Baron Davis off the bench. But yeah, that's where I would start. Go look at a Stephon Castle, or not a Stephon Castle, a Keon Ellis would be a solid pickup here. Just some better players that you definitely could pick up, but I do recommend you check out my No Money Spent squad. That's going to do it for the squad. So, I mean, I do apologize if I was harsh on some of the squads. You know, some of those squads are probably better rated. Was just being kind of the, you know, the harsh critic today, as you will. So, I mean, I think you guys have some good squads. I think some of you guys have some absolutely horrible squads. I don't know what you're doing, if you're spending packs with MT or what you are doing. I don't know how some people have 0 MT. But no, shout out to everybody. If you guys got questions, you know, make sure to come by stream. I might be live after this, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I might be live after this, doing a double stream today. So, but yeah, come into stream. I mean, ask questions, and I can steer you guys in the right direction. I do recommend all of you guys that didn't complete domination, go out and complete domination, grind domination, go get your MT from that, and that is going to be a good start to, you know, picking up some of the new players. But I will show you guys my lineup right now and what I am rocking with, and you guys can critique me. let me know what I should upgrade in the comment section down below. So here's what my lineup's looking like. You know, I really do like my lineup. Definitely need a better backup center. I don't care for D-Rob that much, but you know, I just picked up this Michael Beasley. I got MJ, which is a lot of MT that I can, you know, sell back, and you know, go get a Gary Payton. Honestly, probably going to be a very similar card. But let me know what you guys think of my lineup. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys want more, drop a like on the video, subscribe, giving away, doing a giveaway at 1,600 subscribers. Hope you guys did enjoy. There was pretty much 3, you know, uncut videos, but if you guys want more of these, you know, these don't take a lot of time to edit, so there are easier videos to, you know, make and upload. So if you guys do want more of these, let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Until next time, stay swaggy. Peace.